मिथिल
हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं रघुनाथं वितं तं जीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today is the auspicious Dvadasi day. Today is also the disappearance day of Srila Rupa Goswami. On this auspicious day, we are discussing the week 30, which is also dealing with Sri Rupa Goswami to some extent. So I'll display, welcome everyone. Priya Bandwar Mataji, Rupamshi Sharma Mataji, Shashwati Gupta Mataji, Anupam Prabhuji, Dr. Agarwal Prabhuji, KL Chaturvedi Prabhuji, Kajal Mataji, and Shaila Mataji. So I'll display the week 30, and then those who want to read kindly raise the hand so that one of the co-hosts will request you to read. So visible to everyone? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So Rupam Shimataji, you may start reading the first paragraph.
Okay, Prabhuji. Bhakti Vruksh class, week number 30. Sri
Yes.
Namamrit, the nectar of the holy name. By chanting the holy name, one can be delivered regardless of caste, creed, color, or social position. Generally, Brahmanas are pulled up with false prestige because they belong to the aristocracy and perform many Vedic sacrifices. In South India, especially, the fastidious position is most prominent. At any rate, this was the case 500 years ago. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually started a revolution against this Brahminical system by inaugurating the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By this chanting, one can be delivered regardless of caste, creed, color, or social position. Whoever chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is immediately purified due to the transcendental position of devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here hinting to Vallabha Bhattacharya that an exalted Brahmana who makes sacrifice and follows the Vedic principle should not neglect a person who is engaged in devotional service by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Charit Amrit Madhya Lila 19.69. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you are on
Thank
mute.
Thank you, Rupakshi Mataji, for reading the nectar of the holy name. Before we go to the week 30 discussion, many of you must have attended the week 29 also. So week 29, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Shall we have a recap of what we learned? What are the central theme of week 29? And then we will go to week 30. Anybody who remembers what we did in week 29? Right. Just a revision. Rupakshi Mataji, you would like to say? Or Shashwati Mataji, anyone? So what was the most important thing we learned in week 29? Do you remember that we talked about what is the meaning of Krishna? Yes, anybody? You can unmute and... Oh, you are not allowed to unmute.
Yeah, Krishna
Make
means
everybody allowed to unmute, and whenever you want to unmute, you can unmute and then mute yourself.
Krishna means all attractive. That is what we
Yes.
had.
Yes, that is the important thing. Krishna is all attractive. And we also learned many things about Rama. We chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Rama also, what are the various Rama? Right?
Yeah.
We learned?
Yeah. Balaram, Ramchandra,
Right.
or Parashuram.
Parashuram. Very nice.
Yeah. Anyone
And for Balaram also, very many names are there. What are the various names we learned?
Sankarshana.
Yes.
Shankarshan. I don't know about the others.
Balabhadra.
Balabhadra.
So he is full of strengths.
Strength.
So if we want the spiritual strength, we should pray Lord Balaram. And Balaram, there is another avatar is also there. Which is that avatar of Balaram?
Nityananda.
Lord Nityananda. So Nityananda is a very, very merciful Lord. So we can approach Gauranitai, Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu for our spiritual strength. And for they are very, very merciful. They forgive. Even Jagai Madai, Lord Nityananda was forgiving. So whatsoever we make mistakes in our spiritual life, he will easily forgive us. So we should take the shelter of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So this is some of the important points in week 29. Every week when we learn something, the central point we should carry over in our mind permanently. So that will remain, that Lord Balaram, what is there? What is Krishna? When we talk about Krishna, it's all attractive. So those things we should never forget. Remember Krishna always and never forget Krishna. So Krishna is all attractive. That also we should remember. So now, in the nectar of the holy name, what Rupakshi Mataji nicely read, what Mahaprabhu is trying to say in this paragraph. See, there is a mention that the Brahmanas, they were, especially the South Indian Brahmanas, they were very fastidious. What is the fastidious means? They want everything to be perfect. It's very difficult to please them. And this, what is the scenario in this particular paragraph? Is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is meeting Rupa Goswami and his brother. And that time, Baladev Bhattacharya, he is also a big Vaishnava Acharya. He was also there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is addressing him. At that time only, this conversation takes place. This Madhya Lila 16.69. So, Baladev Bhattacharya, he later on, initially he was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later on, he moved to Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And as a branch of that, he himself started Vallabh Sampradaya. And they were more onto the, as a born Brahmana, they were more into the yajnas and various Brahmanical processes and procedures. Whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a very nice Mahamantra as a yajna for this Kali Yuga. And at that point in time, various Brahmanas, especially the Goswamis, they were considered as the highest Brahmanas in the Bengal. They were objecting to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because earlier practice was only the Brahmanas can recite the Vedic mantras. Whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he made everybody without caste, color, creed. That is what is mentioned there. Without caste or color or creed or birth, anything, anyone and everyone, anytime and everywhere can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when the Goswamis or the born Brahmana, the high echelons of the Brahmanas objected, he reversed the order. Originally, their mantra was Hare Krishna. It was not starting. It is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like that, the mantra was there in the scriptures. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am reversing the order. Now you cannot object. That mantra only you can object. But the essence and meaning and the benefits are exactly the same. So, without changing the contents, without changing the benefits, without changing the importance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an easy solution, practical solution, so that all of us could chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and get the same benefit as the yajnas, as in the other yugas, other than Kali yugas, they were doing tapasya for thousands and thousands of years, and yajnas and deity worship. So all these benefits have been achieved by chanting the holy name. So that is the nectar of the holy name. That is the sum and substance of what Rupa Sharma Mataji read. So now we will go to the next thing. So we should always take the shelter of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Not only we should chant, we should also make our friends and neighbors and our well-wishers and whom you are well-wishers of, we have to make them chant. We have to always tell them that you start with, how many rounds will tell? You have to tell the newcomers as what? You start with?
1 round.
1 round. It will take just 7-8 minutes maximum. Even if you are doing slowly, maximum 10 minutes it will take. So in out of 24 hours, you just spend 10 minutes to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and show them how to do it in the beats. So that is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our Guru Parampara. Because every village, every nook and corner of all the countries, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra has to spread in this Kali Yuga. Then only people will be in a position to eradicate their sins. So we are in the preaching movement. Hare Krishna movement and the ISKCON movement is entirely preaching movement. So each one of you should take this responsibility to tell others to chant the Mahamantra. So that is the starting point. That is 1 round you start, then make it 4 rounds, make it 8 rounds, then they will, on their own, they will reach to 16 rounds every day as per the prescription by Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya. So now we will go to the next paragraph. I will display there. So now next person may read the next paragraph, passage for discussion. So one of you can read. Yes, Mataji.
Passage for discussion. Going
yes.
from fearfulness and anger to real love. Vitarag bhaya krodha man mayamam upasrita bhava jnana tapasa puta mad bhavam agatah. Translation: being free from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. Purport: as described above, it is very difficult for a person who is too materially affected to understand the personal nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Generally, people who are attached to the bodily conception of life are so absorbed in materialism that it is almost impossible for them to understand that there is a transcendental body which is imperishable, full of knowledge, and eternally blissful.
Yes, Mataji. Kindly
Prabhuji,
wait
continue,
and
Guru.
then
Okay.
no, Mataji.
In the
Kindly wait.
materialistic,
We will discuss and then we will move forward. No,
in the
you
material.
kindly wait for some time. We will discuss and then we'll move forward.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So, some more devotees also I like you to read. Even if it is 2 sentence, 3 sentence, you like to read, you can try. Like Anupam Prabhu, Agarwal Prabhu, Chaturvedi Prabhu, Kajal Mataji, Shaila Mataji. Everybody can read a little bit, so that all participation will be very nice. So this what Mataji read, that Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha, this is in the chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. It's a 10th verse. So what is the background of chapter 4? Chapter 4 is transcendental knowledge. So the Lord in chapter 4, he starts with when this Bhagavad Gita was originally spoken. Many people, the newcomers, may think that this Bhagavad Gita came into this world. How many years before people will think? Yes, anybody can answer? Anyone would like to answer? We should have as much as possible interactive mode. You all can unmute yourself, right? Correct? Anybody can unmute themselves. Kajal Mataji, would you like to answer? Kajal Mataji? Shaila Mataji, आपको आंसर दीजिए. Shaila Mataji? How many years before Bhagavad Gita was spoken, normally people think?
5,000 years ago, Prabhuji.
This is what normally people think. But Lord gives the answer in 4.1. He starts with that. What he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Iyam Vivasvate Yogam, Proktavan Aham Avyayam, Vivasvan Manave Praha, Manur Ishvakave Abravet. What he says, the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed the imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivasvan. There is a sun, there is a sun god. The sun god name is Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu. Manu is the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was son of Manu and he was the king of the entire earth planet. So this science of God or the Bhagavad Gita was first spoken by Lord several millions and millions of years ago to sun god. Then it came to this Bulok, the earth planet, through Ishkvaku. That itself is about 2 million years ago. So the mankind received this Bhagavad Gita. But over a period of time, those days there was no writing, there is no printing. So everything was by recitation from succession, one person to another. So over a period of time, it lost. Then the Lord gave this Bhagavad Gita, what we are discussing, about 5,000 years ago in the battlefield. In the behind me, that Lord is Parthasarathi to Arjuna. In the battle of Kurukshetra, this Bhagavad Gita was spoken about 5,000 years ago. So this is how he starts. During the conversation between Arjuna and Lord Krishna, then Arjuna is asking a question to Lord Krishna. What he is asking? Lord, like a child, he is asking, Lord, you said you spoke to the sun god, but sun god is there for time immemorial. It's there for many millions of years before, and you are here only now. So how I could not understand that how you have spoken to you are Lord Krishna, you are in this battlefield. How you spoke to Vivaswan? Why is Arjuna is asking? Arjuna is an exalted devotee. He also knows everything, many things. However, he was asking this question so that Lord will himself will clarify, and we all, people like us, they are all fallen souls, we can understand that how the Lord has spoken to Bhagwan and how it is 5,000 years before in the battlefield also he spoke. So this will we'll get a very crystal clear knowledge about this event. That's why Arjuna asked this question. Then Lord started answering in various slokas, and some of the slokas are very, very famous slokas. Sloka number 6, 7, 8. So these are all very, very important sloka, like Yada Yada Hi Dharma, 7th sloka, 4.7, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, Glanir Bhavati Bharata, Abhyutanam Adharmasya, Tatamanam Srijamyaham. That is, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of religion, at that time I descend myself. That means I am here in the battlefield, but before that also I have kept on taking avatar. I have descended. And Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Sambhavami yuge yuge means what? Millennium after millennium I do appear. Lord appears every millennium. So this, in that context only, it's a continuously he tells about the importance. And this 10th sloka also, Vitaraga Bhayakroda Manmaya Mam Uparishata Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Utta Madbhavam Agata. What he says, being freed from attachment from fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. This knowledge of Krishna is not like material knowledge. What we read in our schools and colleges, they are all material knowledge. But what we read in the scriptures, what we read in the Prabhupada books, what we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, what we read in Bhagavad Gita, these are all spiritual knowledge. It is about the Lord and his pastimes and his glories and his transcendental activities. Everything, they are spiritual knowledge. And once you became purified by knowledge of the Lord, and thus they all attained transcendental love of me. So this is what he says, that if I appear year after millennium after millennium, I appear in order to establish the religion, in order to demolish the demands, all these purpose I appear. So those who know about me, knowledge means this knowledge about the Lord's appearance, the Lord's glories, the Lord's pastimes, the Lord's transcendental body. Transcendental body is what? Like our body, we are born as a child. First we are in the womb in a very clustered way. Then we come out of our mother's womb. Then we are very child. Then we slowly start speaking, slowly start walking. First crawling, then walking, then we become youth, then we become a grihastha, then we become middle age, then we become old, and then we pass away. So this is the material body. This body is bread and bone, is a completely material. And the soul, which is there in our body, that is eternal. The eternal soul, that is Sat Chit Anand. It is permanent, it is transcendental, and it is blissful. It is a small part and particle of Lord's body. So the Lord's body is transcendental, divya body. So about all these things, if we know, those who know what Lord says, they will attain the transcendental love for me. So the goal of life is what? We should attain the transcendental love for Lord Krishna. Love and serve Lord Krishna is our goal. If we do love and serve Lord Krishna, then we are fully self-realized. We become self-realized soul. We become mukt even in this world, in this material world. It's a jail. It is a non-permanent dukkhalaya, shashvata. Permanently dukh, material miseries. They are there in this world. And we will, even in while living in this material world, we can become liberated if we know about the transcendental qualities of the Lord. This is the words of Lords to Arjuna. Through Arjuna, it is spread to all of us through the succession. Only certain small conditions are there that we should follow the regulative principles. We should follow our spiritual master. We should follow all the spiritual guidelines and guidance. If we do that, then we'll achieve the transcendental love of God. And once we achieve the transcendental love of God, even in this world, then your ticket to Goloka, where you can meet and see Lord face to face. Amne samne, you can see the Lord. That can happen. So, what kind of people are having a problem and other things we will discuss further in this paragraph. So, we'll go back to the paragraph and read again. And now Rupangshi Sharma Mataji has raised the hand. I would like one more devotee to at least read some portion. So, who will volunteer? Either unmute and straight away you can read, or you can raise the hand. Either way is fine. But participation is important. Yes? Anyone coming forward to read the paragraph in the materialistic concept? Anybody raise the hand or open the mic?
Prabhuji, I'll continue with this paragraph.
Okay,
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try.
Okay, one of you read, please, in the materialistic concept. Screen is visible, right?
In the materialistic concept, the body is perishable, full of ignorance and completely miserable. Therefore, people in general keep this same bodily idea in mind when they are informed of the personal form of the Lord. For such,
Oh, sorry. 1 second. 1 second. Yes. Yes, please read.
for such materialistic men, the form of the gigantic material manifestation is supreme. Consequently, they consider the supreme to be impersonal, and because they are too materially absorbed, the conception of the conception of retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. When they are informed that spiritual life is also individual and personal, they become afraid of becoming persons again. And so they naturally prefer a kind of merging into the impersonal void. Generally, they compare the living entities to the bubbles of the ocean, which merge into the ocean. That is the highest perfection of spiritual existence, attainable without individual personality. This is a kind of fearful stage of life, devoid of perfect knowledge of spiritual existence.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, kindly put
Should
your
I
thoughts. We
continue?
will discuss this.
Yeah.
In the materialistic concept, what we discuss is our body is perishable. We are full of ignorance. Vidya, avidya. Vidya is about the transcendental knowledge, scriptural knowledge. Avidya is not other than its spiritual knowledge. All other things are avidya or ignorance. And our life is completely miserable. When we see and meet each other, how are you? We always say, oh, I am good. That is only in the lips it will come. But in your body and mind, you will be thinking so many problems about your work, about your home, about your relationship, about your neighbor, about your health, about your wealth, and various factors will be running in your mind. So they are all the material miseries. Whereas we once, when we see and meet each other, how are you? We always say, oh, I am good. That is only in the lips it will come. But in your body and mind, you will be thinking so many problems about your work, about your home, about your relationship, about your neighbor, about your health, about your wealth, and various factors will be running in your mind. So they are all the material miseries. we talk about Krishna, we discuss about Krishna, we sit in the, katha. At that time, we forget all the material miseries. We are temporarily, we are in a spiritual platform. But our goal should be to carry this spiritual platform throughout our life, even in the materialist life. If you keep Lord Krishna in the center, then we'll be able to lead a spiritual life even in this material platform. And people generally have fear in their mind. The materialistic mind in the form of gigantic material manifestation is supreme. Consequently, they consider the supreme to be impersonal. What they think, the supreme personality is impersonal. Because of their ignorance, they think like that. Whereas Lord Krishna is a personal form, and he always, in a very youthful form. He is always in the sweet 16 form. He never becomes old. Even in the when he was departing from this world, material world, he was about 125 years. But he did not look like an old man. He was looking like a youth of 16 years or 18 years. So that is how he looked always. So even in Goloka, he will look like that only. So once you are in spiritual platform, you will attain a spiritual body in Goloka that will also be always youthful. Even if you die at the age of 100, the moment you get a spiritual body in Goloka, you will be in a position to look like a youth. So because of the ignorance, we think, or many of the people would think that God is impersonal. He is Nirakar. He is like a light. So we will be merging into the light. All these things. They say like bubbles of the ocean. There's a drop of the ocean or the bubble of the ocean. It merges. So we are like a bubble and Lord is like an ocean. We will be merging into the ocean like a Lord. So that is a, knowledge is a half knowledge or ignorant knowledge. This kind of fearful stage of life devoid of perfect knowledge of spiritual existence. As per the spiritual existence, Lord is having a physical, spiritual form. Yeah, he has a personality. He has eyes, ears, nose, everything. So our Rupavilas Prabhuji always used to tell one story that one of the Guru Maharaj, he was in a Gulf country. He was in the airport doing chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, like this. So one of the other religious person, he came to him and he said, okay, you are, what are you doing? So he's telling, Maharaj said that I am doing chanting. So chanting Hare Krishna means whether your Lord is hearing. He said, yes, the Lord is hearing. I am having a conversation with the Lord. I am glorifying the Lord. So then he said, no, the Lord is, will not have such form according to us, like that. Then he said, okay, you pray? He said, yes, we pray. Then if you are praying, do you think the Lord will have, your Lord is going to hear it? Then he said, yes. And then he said, okay, do you offer anything to the Lord? They said, yes, we offer to the Lord. Then he is accepting that. That means he will have some hand, he will have some mouth to release it. Then that person did not have an answer. Oh, yes. So that is how the Maharaj convinced that person of the other religion also. The Lord will also have the personality. But only difference is it is not made of the material like us. It is not a material body. It is not a perishable body. But Lord will have a divya body, transcendental body. He will have ears, he will have nose, he will have mouth, everything like us. But only difference is, as told in the Brahma Sangita, any part of the body can do any activity. He can eat with the ear, he can talk with the nose, he can hear with the eyes. Like that, any body of the Lord can be used for any activity. He does not have any constraint what all we are having. So this idea of Lord is not having a personal body is out of ignorance and out of avidya, lack of knowledge, devoid of perfect knowledge. So now we will go to the next paragraph. Yes, one more devotee would like to read this. Furthermore, there are many persons.
Furthermore, there are many persons who cannot understand spiritual existence at all, being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradiction of various type of philosophical speculation. They become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void. Such people are in a diseased condition of life. Some people are too materially attached and therefore do not give attention to spiritual life. Some of them want to merge into the supreme spiritual cause, and some of them disbelieve in everything, being angry at all sort of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness. This last class of man take to the shelter of some kind of intoxication, and their affective hallucinations are sometimes accepted as spiritual vision.
Okay,
One
Mataji.
has
Mataji, just hold, then we will discuss this and then we will move forward. So the first kind of devotees, we said that he has an imperfect knowledge. So he does not know that the Lord has a personal body. And in a spiritual form, but he has a body like us, having ears, nose, mouth, everything, hand, leg, everything he has. So that is an imperfect knowledge. Now the second kind of people who does not understand the spiritual existence at all, they even do not know there is a spiritual existence. Such people, they hear so many contradictory philosophies and speculation, mental speculations. Different people who claim themselves are the God, they create their own philosophies. And these people are totally confused. Each one will contradict other person. So because of such thing, they do not even believe that there is spiritual existence. There is, everything becomes void for them. There is no spiritual existence at all. There is no God at all. They become either atheist or everything ultimately becomes void. It becomes zero-sum game. This is what they believe. So such people, Prabhupada calls that they are in the diseased condition of life. They are not even, half knowledge. They don't have any knowledge at all about the spiritual existence. They are thinking that the end of the world is just void. There is nothing is there, zero. We don't have, birth. We don't have reactions of sin. They don't understand anything about the God or even about our own life. And some more, another kind of people, what they do, they are materially so much attached. These people are confused. The second lot we discussed was confused lot. They don't know anything and they are having a zero knowledge. The third one is materially attached. Work. They want to work. They want to become the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Not just Chief Executive Officer. They want to become a enjoyer, owner and controller. Controller, enjoyer, owner. That is the CEO they want to become. And they want to have multiple houses, farmhouse, and five-star hotels, parties. They are so much materially attached that morning to evening, 24 hours, they work like a donkey. The donkey will get the grass in any case, but he does not know. The owner of the donkey will give lots of burden on the beast and then only thinks that I will get the grass. So such kind of people, God has made arrangements for all the living entities, whether it is 84 lakh species are there, whether it is human form, animal form, plant form, or aquatic form. Each and every form of living entities, God has made the arrangement for food, stay, everything. They have place to live. They have things to eat. God has created for it. But without knowing that they want to make, I want to become the billionaire, I want to become the top 40 before 40. Before 40 years, I have to become a top 40 billionaires in the world. So like that, there is a rat race going on. And such people, what happens to them? They disbelieve in everything about God. They become angry on all sorts of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness. They are so much immersed into the material activity. There is no time for them to talk about God, see the God, and relish the Krishna Katha. They do not have any such thing. Because of that, they become angry. But suppose if their profit comes down, or if their ranking, even if they have done very good, but their competitors have done better than them, then also they become angry with all their staff, or in their homes, along with their friends, everywhere they become anger. They show their anger and frustration. So such kind of people are also there. They are totally hopeless. Then the last class of men take the shelter. What do? They take the shelter of intoxication, drugs, drinks, whiskey, brandy, and whatnot. They go for this and they get the hallucination, and they think that they have got some great vision, spiritual vision. In the hallucination, they may think that whatever they daydream, they will think that is their end of it. Out of intoxication, whatever they get, they think that as a spiritual realization or spiritual vision, which is totally nonsensical. So now we will read further. Matajis, who is volunteering for reading now?
Hare Krishna
Any second
Prabhuji.
person to read, or only Rupakshi Mataji is there? Anybody else would like to read? Shiv Kumar Puri Prabhu, would you like to read? Or Bantu or Mataji? No one? Okay, Mataji, Rupakshi Mataji, may continue.
One has to get rid of all three stages of attachment to the material world: negligence of spiritual life, fear of a spiritual personal identity, and the conception or void that underlies the frustration of life. To get free from these three stages of the material concept of life, one has to take complete shelter of the Lord, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the discipline and regulative principles of devotional life. The last stage of the devotional life is called bhav, or transcendental love of Godhead. According to Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the science of devotional service, Adau Shraddha तथा साधु संगा the bhajan kriya tato narat nivrit sayat tato nishtha ruchi tata atha shakti tato bhavas tatha prema bhayu danchan bhayu dachanti sadha ka naam ayam premaha paradurбhave bhavet kramaha. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated. In next stage, one becomes initiated by an elevated spiritual master, and under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. By execution of devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment, attains steadiness in self-realization, and acquires a taste for hearing about the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. This taste leads one further forward to attachment for Krishna consciousness, which is matured in bhav, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of God. Real love for God is called prema, the highest perfectional stage of life. In the prema stage, there is constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, by the slow process of devotional service, under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, one can attain the highest stage, being freed from all material attachment, from the fearfulness of one's individual spiritual personality, and from the frustration resulting from void philosophy. Then one can ultimately attain to the abode of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 4, text 10. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So, initially, Prabhupada is in the purport he is discussing about the problems of the people. That what is the half knowledge, lack of knowledge, angry, fearfulness, and also hopelessness. All these problems first he discusses, and intoxication, what problem, voidness, all these problems are there with the people. And Prabhupada also gives a solution. Because Lord, what he says, if you are you become purified by knowledge of me, means knowledge of Lord Krishna, then they will attain the transcendental love of me. So, in order to get the transcendental love of God, what the people are expected to do, to how to remove the fearfulness, how to remove the anger, how to remove the voidness. For all this, the solution is given by Srila Prabhupada very nicely. What he says, one has to get rid of all the three stages of attachment, because whatever problems are there, all are due to the material attachment. We are attaching so much to our body. We try to put all the makeups, whatever one can do. Instead of putting the tilak and kandimala, that should be our makeup, not the lipstick or face talcum powders and so many modern things may be there. I don't know what it is there, but lots of beauty parlors are there for men and women. So beauty products are also there for men and women. Good old days, it used to be there for only the women, but nowadays everything is there for all the genders. So, because why it is happening? Because people are more and more attached to their body. That body is the material, and that material attachment gives the material miseries. So, in order to remove the material attachment and remove the material miseries, material desires, one has to look for the spiritual advancement, spiritual realization, spiritual guidance. For that, Srila Prabhupada gives the solution. What he says, one has to get rid of all three stages of attachment to the material world. Negligence of the spiritual life. They neglect the spiritual life. So, fear of spiritual personal identity. So, the Lord is having his identity, spiritual personality. They are afraid. That's why they say, no, Lord is Nirakar. He is only light form. He can, like an ocean, he can go and merge there. So, they are all out of the fearfulness. They are saying like this. So, they are all not the reality. They are not the true knowledge. So, the conception of void, everything becomes zero. This becomes void. There is nothing. So, they are all the imperfect knowledge, frustration of life. To get free from these three stages of material life, one has to take complete shelter of the Lord. Lord Krishna's shelter, his lotus feet. We have to take the shelter. So, how to take the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord Krishna? One has to be guided by bona fide spiritual master. Who is a bona fide spiritual master? Bona fide spiritual master is one who comes under the authorized parampara. Who claims that I am the Guru, I am the Lord, like that those who are claiming themselves, there are so many bogus gurus and bogus lords. There are, some of them are in the jail and bail. So I don't want to name any of them, but you all know, because at least you will have a cursory glance of newspapers and televisions at times. So you will know that who is in jail and who is in bail and who is in appeal and who is in imprisonment. So all these things we know, and what sort of problems they have created for the people. They have told that I will remove all your problems. And they caught thousands and thousands of people in their pravachans. But ultimately they could not save themselves only. They landed in jail. So such people are the bogus gurus and bogus people. So one has to know who is coming in the parampara. There are 4 authorized paramparas are there. And our parampara, ISKCON, is coming under the Gaudiya, Madhva, Brahma Sampradaya. Brahma Sampradaya, Gaudiya, Madhva Sampradaya, we can say. So, under this parampara, ISKCON is appearing. So, similarly, Kumar Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, like that, Sri Sampradaya, they are also authorized Sampradaya. So the Guru has to be one of the following one of these four authorized parampara. Without the parampara, if anybody claims there's a Guru, is not an authorized one. So authorized parampara, whoever is there, such a Guru, you have to take the shelter. Then only you can take the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. And once you are taking the shelter of the spiritual master, that means you take the initiation. In ISKCON, you can take the initiation if you follow four regulatory principles. So anyone would like to say what are the four regulatory principles? Yes? Anyone would like to tell? Yes?
No intoxication or no gambling, no meat eating, and last one is no illicit sex.
Very nice. So these four things to be avoided. So the bona fide spiritual master, we take the oath that we avoid all these four regulatory principles. We follow the four regulatory principles and follow the discipline. What are the discipline? Chanting regularly, waking up early in the morning and do Manglarati, do 16 rounds of chanting, do no aparad. Various kinds of aparad are there. Nam aparad, Dham aparad, Seva aparad. So all these aparad, Vaishnava aparad. So all these aparad, one has to avoid and desist from doing aparad. They are all, then you are a disciplined devotee. Follow the regulatory principles, chant the rounds, then you can do Dhamvas, you can read the scriptures and think Krishna and keep the Krishna in the center. All these things, if you do that under the guidance of the spiritual master, then you can take the shelter of the Lord. Then you will be achieving the transcendental love of God. And for that, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami has given the stages, various stages of reaching the Prema stage, Prema Bhakti. That is loving service of the loving service to the Lord, Bhava Prem. So how to achieve it? He has given in this sloka, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. So in this sloka, he is giving step-by-step process. Because if anything, you want to achieve a goal, you want to go to Delhi. So from Mumbai to Delhi, so one is that, okay, you can fly. And also if you take a train, then you have to go through various stations, maybe Surat, maybe Baroda, maybe Ahmedabad, like that various intervening stages are there, Agra, then Delhi, like this various stations are there depending on the route you take. So the same way, in order to achieve the transcendental love of Godhead, you should have the Bhava and Prema. In order to do that, Rupa Goswami gives the stage by stage. Suppose you want to, in the material world, you want to become an MBA. That means you should take a first initially nursery, so junior KG, senior KG, first standard, 10th standard, 12th standard, then a graduation, then you go for a postgraduate study in business administration. So there is a set process by the education department. There is a board is there, there is the universities are there, there is a university grant commission is there, there is All India Council of Technical. So similarly, we have the authorized paramparas are there. The authorized paramparas will say that, okay, you do chanting, you do Manglarati, then there will be a supervisor who will be your Shiksha Guru, who will be your Diksha Guru. So these Shiksha Gurus will monitor you. They will give you the Goloka passport, how many rounds you do, what time you get up, how many minutes you read in a day, weekly, how many hours you read, reading, hearing, chanting. So these are the activities of the transcendental service. So by this following the sadhana bhakti, these are all sadhana bhakti. By doing this sadhana bhakti, then slow and steady we can reach. So this stage, the steps are explained very well. That is Ado Shraddha. That is first one is Ado Shraddha. That means you should have a preliminary desire for self-relation. I want to go to Delhi. That desire is there, then only you'll buy the ticket. So same way, you should have the Shraddha. That is in preliminary desire, you can say, and also it should be intense desire. If I have an intense desire, then only you will find a person like Shashwari Mataji or Priya Bandur Mataji who can guide you. Oh, we have Narad Pran Prabhuji. He will be in a position to guide you further. You please come and attend his 3-day Bhagavad Gita class. Then he will also conduct week after week Bhakti Vruksh class. So someone to guide. Then you come into the Sadhu Sangha. Once you attend the course and then you join, then you have the Sangha of Agarwal Prabhu, Chaturvedi Prabhu, Kajal Mataji, Bandwar Prabhu, Bandwar Mataji, then Shaila Mataji, Shashwati Mataji, Shivkumar Puri Prabhu. Like that, this is what is the Sadhu Sangha. We combine together. This is an online class, so you are not able to have so much of interaction with one another. Even though it is possible, you can always have the discussion also here. But in the physical mode of Bhakti Vruksh class, there will be interaction. When they sit in a sort of tree form only, like this, like tree and branches. So you sit over there, discuss there, then have the prasadam, eating, meeting, having the end of the class prasadam. All these things will happen in the physical class of Bhakti Vruksh, which will be taking, that is called the Sadhu Sangha. You are attaching with the Guru, you are attaching with the other Vaishnavas. So that is the stage 2. After the Shraddha is there, you come through some Patha Pradesh Guru. Somebody is guiding you, like Priya Mata or Shashwati Mataji. So after that, you have Sadhu Sangha. Once you have the Sadhu Sangha, attend the classes, then the third stage is Bhajana Kriya. So you do that Bhajana Kriya, various bhajans and glorifying the Lord. Then the Anartha Nivritti. Then all the anarthas in our whatever that material desire, we have lots of anarthas. All the anarthas they are the impediments in the bhakti. These impediments in the bhakti, attachments, attachment is also one of the anarthas, bodily attachment and material attachment, all these are anarthas. Then when the time spent on the material activities are also anarthas. These anarthas are slow and steady getting reduced and demolished. That is the next stage. After Anartha Nivarti, then we have Ruchi. No, not Ruchi. We have Nishtha. Nishtha is little more confident way of having the, you can say that progress. That is in the progress path, you have a Nishtha. More interest. Initially, preliminary desire was there. That it became, once the anarthas are removed, your desire for spiritual progress improves. That is the Nishtha stage. Thereafter, Ruchi is the taste. You get the taste in chanting the holy name, taste in Sadhu Sangha, taste in Krishna Prasad, taste in spiritual discussion, taste in reading the Prabhupada books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, taste in hearing the lectures. So all these things comes under the Ruchi. Tata Ata Sakti. Then Sakti, that is more energy you get for progress, spiritual progress. After that, attain steadiness in the self-relation. After that, taste for hearing, then Sri Krishna. That taste leads to further progress to attach to the Krishna consciousness, which is matured in the Bhava stage. After clearing all these hurdles or the stages, improve the ladder one after another, you are improving. Then comes to Bhava, Premana, Pradhuva, Bhave. That is a Bhava stage or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of God. After this Prema, the highest stage of life, that is Prema stage, Bhav and Prem. So once you attain the Prem, even after that also there are another 7-8 stages are there. And that is for a higher level. So at the beginning level, even if you are attaining this Prema stage, that is a transcendental love of God stage, that itself is a great achievement in the spiritual life. Real love of God is called the Prema, that highest perfectional stage of life. once you attend this transcendental love for Lord Krishna, then you are assuring your ticket to Goloka. So you will remove the fear, you will remove the frustration, you will remove the voidness, you will remove all these things, you will ultimately attain the abode of Lord Krishna. Krishna's abode is what? Golok Dham. We can get the Golok Dham. So the process is simple. We have to have the intense desire. We should have the Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya, then Anatta Nivritti, then Nishtha Ruchi, then Ashakti, then Bhav, Prem. So these stages we have to go and consistently improve upon and remove all the obstacles in the transcendental progress, in the spiritual progress. Then take the shelter of your Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru so that ultimately you can take the shelter of Lord Krishna and reach the destination of Lord Krishna once you leave the body. So this is possible in this life itself. There are people who take millions and millions of birth and they don't reach because their attention is diverted. They don't have the single goal, single focus. Which there are, see, in our, we have seen the recently held Olympic, we have seen there are thousands and thousands of players are there, whether be it in shooting, be it in any game, but very few reach the even the qualifying stage of Olympics. After reaching the qualifying stage of Olympic, then finally only about 6 or 7 persons from in India is able to get some medal, be it bronze or silver medal, out of 140 crore people, because they do not have the goal that I should also go to the Olympic one day. That goal itself is not there. Out of 140 crore people, 139 crore plus several lakhs of people, that goal itself is not there. Only few thousands of people, they join in one sport or other, and then they go to the stage of national level, and then they try to go for the international level thereafter. It's a very, very handful of the people. The same way, 140 crore Indian public, there are only few lakhs of people are, now I will not say even the crores of people who are going, taking the shelter of the spiritual master from one of the authorized paramparas. Because that is the way, it's like a visa. See, you have a passport, you cannot directly land in most of the countries. You require a visa. So like that, you have a proper process to follow in order to reach the Goloka. So in order to reach the Goloka, only way is to take the shelter of the spiritual master in some time or other. See, many of you are in the process. So the process can take little more time. There is no problem. But you should have the progress. The end goal has to be there. You have to have the end goal in the mind at the beginning itself. You have it in the beginning that I should reach this destination of Goloka. Then you will have the progress one after another. So with this, we will go to the now question answer session. I think we have about 30 minutes to read the question and answer. Hope all of you were attentively listening this and reading whatever Mataji were reading, you are listening. So from that paragraph, only all the answers are there from the question. So at least now question, I like each one to read one question. There are about 5 questions and 1 application. So out of the 7 participants besides me, so at least 5 of you should read 1 question each, please. So either you volunteer or I will request one of the devotees for each question. So shall we go from Agarwal Prabhu to read the first question? Discovery first. I think totally 6 or 7 questions are there. I think each one will have a chance to read. Agarwal Prabhu, will you be able to read the discovery question? Kindly unmute. If not, we'll go for Chaturvedi Prabhu. Are you able to see the screen and read, Prabhu? No? Any volunteer? Shivakumar Prabhu, will you be able to unmute and read? Anyone? Otherwise, only our Rupangshi Mataji and Shashwati Mataji are reading. Okay, Shaila Mataji, would you like to read? You did a nice kirtan today. Shaila Mataji, you are there?
Discovery question.
Yes, Mataji. Kindly
Question
read.
number 1. What qualifications are necessary to attain love of God?
Very nice. So, will you try and answer this question?
Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in God and taking refuge in God, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of God, and thus they are attained transcendental love for Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So, what is the qualification necessary, Mataji?
Love for God.
Love for God. Very nice. Very nicely. The love for God is the goal. And what is the qualification to attain that? What qualification one should have to attain the love of God?
Bhava.
Mataji, that is a near end stage. Bhava and Prema, they are in a very advanced stage. So qualification is the beginning. Suppose you want to say join a bachelor's degree course. What is the qualification? You should have passed the 12th standard. So like that, what is the qualification in order to, what is the minimum thing? That is what is qualification is the minimum requirement that is necessary or prerequisite to attain the love of God.
That is
One
given in
should
the
have the beginning.
translation.
See what that is. One should
In the
have
translation,
the beginning, the
being freed
preliminary desire. If you have the preliminary desire, that is the qualification. Mataji, clear?
Yes.
If you have a preliminary desire, you are there in the material world, but you want to attain the Lord, that is a goal. Love of Godhead is the goal. I want to receive love of God. I want to obtain love of God. That is a goal. In order to have that goal achieved, you should have initially, you should have a preliminary desire. That is a adoshraddha. That is a qualification or prerequisite. This is the discovery. Now, next question, we'll go for the next question. Understanding. Now, anyone would like to read? Any new person? No? Okay, one of you, Mataji, Rupangshi Mataji, Shashwati Mataji, any of you can read?
Why are some people afraid of the personal form of the Lord?
Who is
What
reading?
form of the Lord do they prefer? I'm Shashwati.
Okay, Mataji, reading. Why are some people?
Why are some people afraid of the personal form of the Lord?
Yes.
What form of the Lord do they prefer?
Yes. So, kindly try to answer this also.
Because actually I can't see it.
Why they are afraid and what form they prefer.
Prabhuji, actually I'm traveling, no, so I can't
Okay.
see
So see what is mentioned here. They consider the Supreme to be impersonal, and because they are too much materially absorbed,
too materially
conception of
affected.
retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. They are very much afraid. So what they are thinking? The Lord does not have the individual and personal form. They prefer to merging into the impersonal void.
Yeah.
They are thinking that It is like living entities are like bubbles and we will merge into
Bubbles
the
and
ocean.
bubbles. Yeah.
So this is the answer for this kind of fearful stage. This is a kind of fearful stage and divide of perfect spiritual knowledge.
Yes.
That's why the people are very much afraid of the personal form of the Lord. They are like a Nirakar. So he'll go and merge with them. So the personal form, they are so much afraid because of their imperfect knowledge. And what they prefer the form is Nirakar form, impersonal form. So now why some people are angry? This question, who would like to read the question and answer? Mataji, Rupakshi Mataji would like to read and answer? Or Shaila Mataji?
First.
Question number 2.
Why are some people angry about any form of spiritual life?
Yes.
What do they take shelter of?
Yes. So where is the answer? Why they are angry?
They become Prabhu ji, they become angry foolishly because there is no supreme cause and everything is ultimately void. Some of them disbelieve in everything and being angry at all sort of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness.
Yes.
This last class of men take to the shelter of some kind of intoxication.
Yes. So they are angry, they disbelieve in everything, and they do not give attention to the spiritual life. They take, what do? Instead, they go for intoxication, which is banned, right? In spiritual life, intoxication is one of the banned. Avoiding that is one of the regulative principles. So now question number 3, please.
Why are some people indifferent to spiritual life?
Yes. Why they are indifferent? There are some people are indifferent.
Some indifferent, no supreme cause and everything. There are many persons who cannot understand spiritual existence at all, being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradiction of various type of philosophical speculation. They become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void.
Yes. So they are thinking that everything will become void. There is no spiritual life. That's why they are indifferent. They are not even aware that about the spiritual life. They are totally indifferent. Then number 4. Question number 4.
How can we rise above all the three material concepts of life and attain love of Godhead?
Yes. So this is what this is about. Earlier, first 3 questions are about problems. This is about the solution.
With the help of the bona fide spiritual master?
Yes. Yes, Madhaji, tell me.
One has to get rid of all 3 stages of attachment to the material world, negligence of spiritual life, fear of spiritual personal identity, and the conception of void that underlies the frustration of life. To get free from these 3 stages of material concept of life, one has to take shelter of the Lord, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the discipline and regulative principles of devotional life. The last stage of the devotional life is called Bhav, or transcendental love of Godhead.
Perfect. So this is the central theme of today's week 30 lesson. To get free from all these 3 kinds of material conception of life, one has to take the shelter of the Lord and guided by the spiritual master, follow the disciplines and regulative principles of devotional life. Then you will attain the love of Godhead. So this is the lesson and for that the process is given by Rupa Goswami, whose disappearance day is today.
Question number 5.
Question number 5.
Give a brief description of the stages one will go through before attaining love of Godhead or prema. Last paragraph.
Yes. So this is what the Rupa Goswami has given the various stages before attaining the love of Godhead or Prem, Krishna Prem. So what are the various stages?
One.
This is the stages.
Adu.
Yes. That important, only the stages you can tell.
Okay.
Mataji, you can tell the stages one by one.
Okay. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated. Next stage, in the next stage, one become initiated by an elevated spiritual master, and under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. By execution of devotional service under the guidance of spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment, attain steadiness and self-realization, and acquire a taste for hearing about the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. This taste lead one further forward to attachment for Krishna consciousness, which is matured in Bhav, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of Godhead.
Very nice.
Real love for God is called Prem, the highest perfectional stage of life.
Perfect, man. So this is the different stages, right? From Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Natanivarti, Shakti, Ruchi, Bhava Prema. So these sort of stages given by Rupa Goswami. So now application.
Are you convinced that God or Krishna is a person and that attaining love of Krishna is the highest perfection of life? Share your realization on what you look forward to by advancing in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Mataji. This is a application of whatever we discussed today. The application is this. It's like your personal realization. You have to share the personal relation. Are you convinced that God or Krishna is a person and attaining love of Godhead is the highest perfection? Is it attaining love of God is highest perfection? And share your realization and what you look forward in advancing the Krishna consciousness.
God is not a person. Krishna is not a person. He is the supreme personality of Godhead.
See, person, the question what it means is that whether impersonal or personal. So that is the question.
Okay.
Okay, he is in a way person but transcendental person.
Yeah, he's a transcendental person. And we have to be pure. We have to do pure devotional service to attain his love.
So the second question is that on the second sub question is attaining love of Godhead, is it the highest perfection? Do you agree that?
Yes.
Yes. Correct. Attaining the love of Godhead is the highest perfection of life. And share your realization. How you want to advance in the Krishna consciousness to reach that level.
Association of the devotees.
Very nice.
Follow the regulative principles.
Right.
Chanting 16 rounds.
Right.
And the 9 devotional services के ऊपर one by one follow कोशिश करेंगे कि सब steps को follow किया जाए ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा.
Then
follow the 9 stages of devotional service.
Practical side of it. Anything practical what you do?
Chanting is the very important.
Yes, this is all prescribed. Now, apart from this, Madam Mataji, what are the practical things you are doing? Say like Bhoga offering to the Lord, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Discussing Krishna Katha with your friends, relatives.
Attending Mangala Aarti.
Attending Mangala Aarti. These are all practically day-to-day life. How it will help you? Avoiding
reading Gita,
avoiding Prajalpa. See, instead of discussing about what is happening in the newspaper, murder happened, this happened, that happened. Instead of that, if we talk about what happened in the Krishna Lila, what happened in the Julan Yatra, so how was it? How the Lord looks so nice, so beautiful, how nicely decorated, what sort of nice flowers are there. So all these things are practically, it will take you step by step ahead in the transcendental loving service of the God to reach that goal. Right? So each one can have a different way of doing this. Practical application can differ from individual person to person, but everything has to be centered around
Krishna.
centered around
Krishna.
Krishna. That's it. Then you are done with. So now we'll go to the preaching is the essence. So I want to give, before reading this paragraph, a brief about what is this Bhakti Vriksha is all about. Because we must be attending week after week. There are people who have attended 64 weeks and then again started from week 1 to week 30 we have reached. Somebody would have started from week 1 to 30. Somebody would have started in between, more, less, whatever different way. So this Bhakti Vriksha, it starts from the origin of Bhakti Vriksha is starting from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is a Chaitanya tree. So Prabhupada says that ISKCON is a branch of Chaitanya tree. And each temple is a sub-branch of one of the branches of ISKCON, means branch of branch. Then within that ISKCON, we have various congregations like Guru Pavalas Prabhuji congregation, like different, Chakravarti Prabhu congregation, like that different congregations. They are sub-branch of branch. Sub like this. Then within Rupalas Prabhuji group, Kaustu Prabhuji group, Narada Pran Prabhuji group, Ramanaresh Prabhuji group. So branch of branch. Like we say Dasavanu, servant of servant. So this Bhakti Vriksha is a big tree branching out. This is happening the world over. Various temples, various Namahattas, various preaching groups in the temple, in the homes. Like that, this is the way this Bhakti Vriksha has been designed. Secondly, who is speaking there? Then the objective of Bhakti Vriksha, sitting together, it is not like a regular one-way traffic of lecture and hearing. There is a vast difference from a Prithivardhanam lecture and hearing is one. Whereas Bhakti Vriksha class is supposed to be a dialogue and discussion mode. That all the, suppose 8 people are sitting in the class, all the 8 have to contribute in the discussion and discuss and take it forward, so that it's like a family atmosphere. It's not a classroom atmosphere. It's not like a teacher-student relation. It is like a group of devotees sitting together and discussing about certain points to take the Krishna consciousness to the next level. And the objective of this Bhakti Vriksha model in ISKCON is to double the number of devotees year after year. Number of devotees have to be doubled in every year. Suppose we have, say, today 8 people, it should become 16. Like that, each guru will make, suppose somebody is having 100 people in the Bhakti Vriksha, they should make it 200 in the next year. Then the 200 will become 400 in the third year. It's like a not exactly arithmetic progression, not exactly geometric progression. It is above the arithmetic progression, maybe little lower than the geometric progression. So it will become, similarly, when Prabhupada's time, when he started the temples in the US, then Canada and other places, in one temple, if there are about 15, 20 devotees, then he will say, okay, now you all about 15, 20 are there. So 10 of you go and move to the next city and go there, find a place, lead the kirtan and start the temple. This is how he used to send the people, 5 people, 10 people. Like, 3 couples were sent to London. They were in Canada and other places. They were sent, okay, 3 of you go there, find your own place of shelter, find your own kirtan, you do your own arrangement and start the temple. And the 3 couples did wonderfully well. That became they found everything because Lord Krishna is helping. If you go there, you may think that, oh, I am empty-handed. How can I go and start a preaching center? How can I start a temple? Like that, if you think, you are not alone. Lord Krishna is there. Your spiritual master, when he sends, the spiritual master is there. He may be sitting in the US, but his blessings are always traveling with the devotees. So our Bhakti Vruksh also, suppose we have to reach a good level, 20, 30, 40 people, and each one has to have a role. That suppose 8 of you, it is not a weekly once we just sit and hear the class. You have to speak to the other people who used to attend, that how are you? Is there any family problem or anything? Why you could not come to this class this week? Suppose 16 used to attend, only 8, the other 8, so each one of you should speak to them. That what is the reason why you could not reach? So that is the model of Bhakti Vruksh. It's like a family atmosphere. Weeks and one-on-one, you speak to them on the Krishna conscious matter. During the week, next week will come again and assemble. Then try to make double the number year after year, doubling. And follow your own Krishna consciousness Bhakti Vruksh group. See, suppose you have attended 64 weeks, then you should have your own Bhakti. That's why branching, every branch will have sub-branch, and leaves. Like that, the tree is there. Same way, this Bhakti Vruksh also has to grow like a big banyan tree, sort of thing. It has to grow. So, this is the model. So now we will, and every one of us have the preaching responsibility. In ISKCON, every devotee has a preaching. Preaching is not necessarily sitting and taking as a class only. Even if you are one-on-one, you are speaking and making one person to chant one round daily, that is also preaching. And if you are making them, okay, you offer, you have a deity's picture. Yes, we have Radha Rashmihari picture or whatever. Suppose if you are Calcutta, then Radha Govinda picture. Like that, you have a picture and then offer your Bhoga to the Lord and then eat prasadam. That is also preaching. So any activity which is centered around Krishna, that is preaching. So each one of you are in the preaching mission, and to the best possible way, you can take a simple effort, and then they will have their own interest. If they have the preliminary desire, that is Ado Shraddha, if they have, then it will sprout. It's like you put a seed and then it sprouts and then it grows into a tree and a plant and then tree. The same way, this will also grow. The Bhakti will also grow. So you all have to take that effort. This is the model of Bhakti Vruksh. So now we will go back to the paragraph. The preaching is the essence. So the Prabhupada's famous quote also, the books are the basis, right? Books are the basis. Purity is the force. Preaching is the essence. And utility is the principle. So, following Srila Prabhupada's these rhyming sentences, preaching is the essence. So, let us all take the essence and do some preaching. Yes, now kindly read the preaching is essence.
Preaching is the essence. A bona fide devotee is aggrieved to see the fallen condition of the world. A bona fide devotee of Lord Krishna is always pained to see the fallen condition of the whole world. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, there is no scarcity of anything within this world. The only scarcity is of Krishna consciousness. That is the vision of all pure devotees. Because of this lack of Krishna consciousness in human society, people are suffering terribly, being merged in an ocean of nescience and science gratification. A devotee onlooker is very much aggrieved to see such a situation in the world. Chaitanya Charit Adi Lila 13.67. A devotee is not satisfied with his own salvation. Out of compassion, he preaches to others, and Krishna gives him special protection. A devotee is not satisfied with his own salvation. Out of compassion, he preaches to others, and Krishna gives him special protection. A Krishna conscious person should free himself from the clutches of Maya, and he should also be compassionate to all others suffering in those clutches. The activities of the Krishna consciousness movement are meant not only for oneself but for others also. This is the perfection of Krishna consciousness. One who is interested in his own salvation is not as advanced in Krishna consciousness as one who feels compassion for others and who therefore propagate the Krishna consciousness movement. Such an advanced devotee will never fall down for Krishna, will give him special protection. That is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.2, 36, 37. Hare Krishna Danvat Pranam.
Hari Bol. Yes, Mataji, perfectly said. So, what Prabhupada is writing here is that it is not our own liberation which matters. We have to make others who are attached in this material world due to Maya and who are spending their whole day and night, entire life in sense gratification. We have to bring them to the fold of Krishna consciousness. That is the essence of the preaching. And that is the sum and substance of Krishna conscious movement. And that is the whole objective of ISKCON movement. Otherwise, why Srila Prabhupada, when he was nearing the age of 70, 69 plus and 70, he was traveling in a cargo ship, had 2 or 3 heart attacks. He did not have anybody to sponsor him there in United States. He was not knowing anybody. He carried only one thing with him, that is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna himself. So he carried and just 40 rupees in his pocket. Nothing more than that. He went to US and then Lord, here it's Krishna will give him special protection. The Lord Krishna was giving him special, very special protection to Srila Prabhupada in his preaching mission. So if you and I also do the same thing, have dependency only on Krishna and go with complete faith, 100% faith, not 99% faith, then you will also be in a position to preach wherever you want to preach, be it in Mumbai, be it in Kolkata, be it in Chennai, be it in Delhi, be it in any nook and corner of a village, town, city, anywhere, any country, or even Bangladesh, even today. It's possible. If you go, our Guru Maharaj had gone to China, Pakistan, etc., and did the preaching. So, depending on the time, place, and circumstances, one can go to any place and with the confidence and preach, and Lord will protect you. So, this is the essence of preaching. So, any questions? We are reaching 9 o'clock, the scheduled time of closure. And if anyone would like to ask any question, I'll take a question or two and then we can close the session. Hare Krishna, any questions for anybody? You can open your mic and ask. Rupamshi Mata, do you have any questions?
No, Prabhuji, you have explained very well. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So, Sashwari Mataji, any questions, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji, very well explained.
Okay, Mataji, shall we close the session, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, we'll chant Hare Krishna. Everybody can chant.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you so much.